She shared with us on Twitter there. Class. Young Ben, are you not on holiday? What are you doing on Instagram when you're on holiday? You loser. So yeah, just waiting for Ben to get in. Bit of an impromptu sort of live session. We're not having a podcast this week. Just cover a few bits. Get involved. Send some comments. Call us shit, whatever. Yeah, we'll get involved. So just waiting for Ben to come on. I have given him a bit of a message, but Oliver Wilson, been listening since the very beginning. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago now. I think we're up 65 episodes, something like that. 2 studios, 65 episodes. Yeah, it's been amazing. So yeah, guarantee I'm going to be in here for a bit on my own. We are, Ben. One slight point, been and bought a new shirt today. What's everybody's feelings on it? I wasn't really a massive fan, but it's actually quite cool. And I don't generally buy an home shirt. I've not bought an home shirt since the Strongbow squad of the Champions League era, so with it being the 100-year thing, I thought I'd treat myself. Everybody been following the stuff over in Oz. We'll have a little chat about that when Ben comes on. He's just sent me a WhatsApp that he's just finished his tea. Do you think Sawyers will get done? To be fair, Jack, it's one of them deals, Sawyers, where I think we'd be stupid not to go and look at it. It sounds like he's going to be relatively cheap. He ain't got long left on his deal. A number 10 type player, quite tricky, can do whatever. So yeah, we'd be stupid if not. Hold on, Ben's just going to... Oliver Wilson, choose a colour of the away kit. Well, I would have liked it to be like the goalkeeper shirt, the blue and yellow, but I don't know what it's going to look like. I can hear Ben in the house somewhere. He's making banging noise. Oh, I can hear you, just as I'm waiting. I feel like this is like some out-of-body experience where I can just hear your voice. There's got to be a gag in here about the best looking one or something like that. Can you see the comments then? So DJ D Jeffs, what do you think's happening with Saiz? It's a tricky one with Saiz, isn't it? Obviously, yeah, something like that. If I'm really honest. So yeah, Ben's gone again. Don't mind Pontus going, but we need to get a replacement. Yeah, I'd agree. Actually, we need a bit of strength in numbers. If we've got Struick and let's try Ben going live again. If we've just got Struick and White as backup to Cooper, obviously with one of them playing, I feel like we could do with just a little bit more experience in helping out in that department. But to be honest, with Orta, Kinnear, and all the senior management team being in Australia, I can't see anything getting done in the next couple of days other than outgoings. To be truly honest, having a nightmare here connecting Ben. So he's even disappeared off audio now. Pontus. Do you think Klitsch will go to Burnley? Hopefully not. James Hudson, Kiko's put all the doubters to bed this year. Allegedly after the York match, whichever one he was involved in, he went and apologised to the fans. So he'll be fully aware, and let's be honest, I know he's had a lot of stick and he's crap and everything, but you don't get Spanish international caps if you're crap. So, that thing that is crap, just I don't believe it's crap, but he did have a poor end to the season. Ashley Ellis, 88, 2.5 million for Sawyers, an absolute bargain. Similar to KP before Bielsa influence, can only see his value go up. Yeah, and the thing is with that is, it could easily be paper talk. It could easily be an agent trying to drum up some more interest in him from the UK, from the Championship or the Premier League. Because obviously he was only linked with Celtic. I think they'd had a bid rejected. So, could still be a lot of sort of things in that. Kiko will come good. Yeah, hope he does, to be fair. Yeah, you're back in the room. Yeah. No, it's a good point, isn't it? No, that's the point I've just made, mate. To be honest, exactly the same thing. He's still there. Oh, he's gone. We're having technical difficulties all over here. It's like being back at studio. Oliver Wilson. Let's say bye to my wife. She's off to work. See you. By the way, my dad heard me laugh my ass off at the Spygate episode ages ago and wanted to know what I was listening to. Shared the podcast with him. And he actually thinks you're a bunch of top quality lads. Nice one. I'll take it. I'll take that one for definite. Let's look what Bielsa did to the same squad last season. Ben's having some nightmares, so it's just going to be me for the minute. Evening, Gary. Great purchase. The new home shirt, 32 red, covers up my moves. Yeah, but Joe, have you tried on the match fit one? Whew. Risky game that if you're not of the fit variety. James Hudson, he sees things in our under-23s to step up. Well, to be honest, for the minute, that's all we've got in it. We are still a bit light on ground. You back, Ben? Yeah. No video. I don't know what's going on there, mate. We're just going to have to style it out. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I went and saw 23s a few times last year, and I was always impressed with Adair, Clark Adair. And Bryce Zana's always been decent whenever I've seen him, but he's struggled to keep fit, and he had quite a serious injury, so. Joe Catlin staying well away from the match fit. Yeah, they're not. So, Ben, what do you think about the sort of rumours, but probably not rumours, that Calvin signed a new deal? It's gone again. I was talking to myself. Young Ben's here, though, in comments. Buenas nachos. Good evening. Led to believe that Calvin has agreed a new deal with Leeds, and it'll be sort of signed and done. What's the delay in the announcement is, I'm not too sure. It's typical at minute of everything at Leeds, isn't it? That everything's quite a slow moving thing. But if it is the case, and obviously I can only stress that it's rumour that we've heard, that that's a positive thing. For those that follow me on Twitter and stuff, I have been I have sang Rajazani and the senior management's sort of praises at Leeds for a while, because I do think that they've done a good job, but also they're not there to escape criticism, and I think that they carry on with Kemar Roof's contract, and also Calvin's getting down to this point is poor, to be fair. Do you think Bogus will have more of a role in the first team squad? Yeah, he seems to be sort of an interest to Bielsa, and he played the other night. He looked to be one of them that looked nervous to start with, which you'd imagine. But I think he grew into the game and showed some neat little touches here and there. And I think at the end of the day, he's only still 18 and he's got plenty of time to grow into it. Watson, 14 for 35. Yeah. Klitsch contract into his last year. Yeah, but I don't know how true it is, but led to believe that Leeds have got an option to extend it for a year. So potentially that sorts that out. Just try and get Ben back in here. We're in a real nightmare. Ash Ellis probably saving the KP announcement until the eve of the Scum game. Yeah, I reckon so. They'll give it. They'll try and give it the big one, won't they? Obviously, with the thing with Pontus, has been quite a bit of negative PR, and I know the club are not keen on negative PR, so there'll be an attempt to, I'm sure, some sort of PR masterclass. Josh Gudgeon, total pros, you lot. Where's Ben? He's like literally other side of my phone somewhere. No, mate, it's just literally in my head again. Fuck knows what's going on, like. Yeah, man. No, I think he's on about young Ben. Yeah. He's away. He's trying to break into Love Island, like something out of blooming Mission Impossible. John Mattis, I thought about that today. Obviously, half the squad's going to be in Australia for 2 weeks. Half the squad's going to be over here. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it, how much they can actually work on sort of the team stuff. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I know that Bielsa's fuming with this entire basically farce of an Australia trip, if I'm truly honest. why anybody thinks it's a good idea to send a squad of athletes, essentially, to the other end of the world 2 weeks before the season's due to kick off is just beyond me. But who knows? There must be some money in it or some good PR for sure, because I don't think it's the greatest idea, to be really honest. And then I would expect the other half of the squad that's still here to probably make that trip to Calgary as well, just so they don't kill the guys who've got about 900 million air miles on their on the body clock kind of thing. So positive news about Calvin potentially signing a new deal, or led to believe he will sign a new deal. Still some worry hanging over the Kemar Roof deal. I think the worry is more that I don't see we replace him with, should he go at a later date, sort of late on into winter. Caleb, Gary, you still over? Yeah, I best put some backstory to this. Went to Manchester on a stag do at weekend. One of the lads I worked with stag do, and then shall I say, kicked the ball quite a bit and took the piss out of it Saturday. So I was written off all day yesterday, written off for half the day today, but I'm back in the real world now. My highlight was a load of scum fans spotting my Leeds tattoo inside my bicep as I stood in a hotel and I was singing "We All Hate Leeds Scum." So I did what every Leeds fan does in that, and stood on the table and started waving at them. Not my finest hour, and nearly got thrown out at the hotel as well, so that's never good. Leeds don't need exposure. We're big enough. Should have been closer to home. Yeah, I think so. I don't know, obviously, the deals and stuff, but there's obviously something big in it for him to want to get him out there. Looks like technical difficulties got the better of Ben, so he's slid into comments instead. They're talking, him and Josh, the owner of our studio, are chatting away. Calvin hopefully getting done. Transfers, can't see any incomings at the moment, because basically anybody who signs paperwork's in Australia. Obviously, I know that there's something called technology nowadays, but it don't look much, to be honest. Do I feel like we need some more? I reckon so. I'd like to see maybe 2 or 3 more come in. But, in an ideal world, you want plenty of things, don't you? Whether we'll get them things, I don't know. Just trying to add Ben back in now before he carries on bantering in comments. So a bit of a strange time at the minute. It's been very, very toxic and negative and horrid on social media for a good couple of weeks. And it'd be nice just to get some football played again, a bit of positivity around the place. Obviously, the signing of Elder Costa and his goal against Geisley softens the blow ever so slightly, but I don't know. James Hudson, don't buy anyone will come in. One more loanee at best, yeah, I reckon so, yeah. He's back in the room. I feel like that time Liam Cooper popped up on my phone just randomly. The wobbling head of Liam Cooper. This sounds like our first podcast, to be fair. Just dropping in and out. More in now, if I'm really honest. He's dropped back out again. Fucking Jesus Christ. That's James Normington. Who do we reckon be also watching the Liverpool Bradford game? To be honest, mate, he's such a disciple of football. He probably just went to watch Klopp and see what Klopp's done. I couldn't tell you who the teams were, to be honest, who played for Liverpool or even who played for Bradford. So I'm not sure if there'd be anybody there that would take our fancy. But it'll definitely be interesting if we try and get some more in. I do feel like we probably need 2, but that's an ideal world type scenario, and we don't live in an ideal world, do we? So bit of a struggle. Saiz, can we make the best of a bad situation? No club really wants him. Kent was playing for Liverpool. I thought that the feeling he got was that he was going to go back to Rangers, to be honest. And Ben's off to watch Bradford tomorrow. Paddy Miller, guest of the show, and I've just seen the famous Chubby Ewok or Darren Harper appearing here as well, so welcome. Paddy, we need an experienced centre-back, another 10 in my opinion, but the best business we've done so far. I agree. I'd like another 10, just to be a bit different. Romain Sawyers might be that number 10, but he also might be getting used as a linchpin by his agent to get a bit more sort of traction into him. Another centre-back would be good. I've commented about that earlier. somebody with a bit of experience. But you could tell from watching the other day how it's very obvious why Ben White's come to the club. Obviously, extremely confident on the ball. Saw him break out of defence quite a few times. So, looks like a positive signing, but you can't judge too much on basically a one trip out against a non-league team. Not being disrespectful to the non-league, because I've spent a bit of time there myself and the standard's really good, but at the end of the day, a lot of them are not professional. Do we think BPF will be here at the start of the season? Daniel, I think BPF will be here, and I even think BPF will be number one, and I don't think Kiko will be here. I think Leeds will be trying everything they possibly can to shift Kiko on. So what's my team for scum then? Be Kiko or Majzek. Probably Majzek I'd go for, actually. Majzek. Alioski's out there, isn't he? Alioski, Cooper. Probably see Calvin Phillips playing at centre-back, which I don't particularly like to see, but I think he possibly could. One of the young boys at right-back. And then it'll probably be a Forshaw. Shackleton gone out there? To be honest with you, I can't remember. I can't remember who's on the list. I've only just sobered up. Jack Clenny, honest opinion on Bamford. Dog shit for me, but I'll eat my words. He's obviously got pedigree, and I can, for the minute, can forgive him for the end of last season. An horrific knee injury that had put people out for a long time. Came back quite quick, scored against Bolton, and then got injured again. And obviously, he's got an eye for goal. But then again, as somebody's mentioned in comments, getting pelters off at Leeds fans, it's going to knock your confidence a bit. I mean, I can only liken this, and it's totally a different subject whatsoever, but I've come in for a bit of shit on social media in the last couple of weeks, and look, I'm thick-skinned enough, and I've been round block enough times to know when to listen and when not to listen, but it does knock your confidence, and whether they're a professional footballer or not and try and separate themselves from it, when the fans are giving him shit from the crowd, it's going to knock his confidence a little bit, or worse to that end, it's going to make him try too hard, if that makes any sense. So, I don't know. We've ultimately got to give him a chance. I can't see anybody wanting to take us off his hands just yet. So yeah, we've got to give him a chance. And to be honest, we ain't really got much of a choice. Yeah, a few people commenting Shackleton's back home in England. I just can't remember the list. I was pissed when I saw it on Saturday, so don't know. Yeah, a few people mentioning a fit Bamford's a better Bamford. Yeah, Jack Clark. I mean, he came flying into the team, and scared people to death. But then, when people start putting two players against him, he struggled a little bit, but still looked like he could make an impact. And then, obviously, the thing that's been much mentioned, the little incident at Borough, seems to take the wind out of his sails, and he was never really the same again. Definitely think he's a quality player, or has potential down the line to be a quality player. And it's up to him to prove it now. At the end of the day, he's a Premier League player from now, so he needs to come into the team when he comes in next year. I don't think he'll start and be the Premier League player he's supposed to be. So Ben's gone for Kiko, Dallas, Cooper, Berra, Douglas, Phillips, Forshaw, Pablo, Harrison, Roof, and Bamford. Yeah, probably be something along them lines, I would imagine. Paddy Miller, if Eaton goes to Villa, BPF will go to Burnley. Yeah, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see that if that did happen. But then the much debate, does Kamil Majzak then become number 2 and Kiko's number 1, or do we bring someone else in? Saw a little rumours about Caldalo again, potentially being back on the horizon, but from what we know, last summer when we tried for him, it was quite an expensive deal, and let's be honest, other than the Costa deal, which is quite cleverly structured, so that basically the majority of the money is paid next season, we don't appear to be a club that's going to splash a lot of cash around. So, Harrison, please use your right foot this season, not asking too much. Funny one that, I'm a fan of Jack Harrison, but also I've been a critic of him, but seeing him graft all summer, beasting himself, and then we saw him other night, and to be fair, it looked to have paid off a little bit. He looked a bit stronger, he looked visibly more stocky.
and scored 2 decent goals. So it'll build his confidence a bit. Jack Clenny get Westwood in as Bruce is off. Bruce is gone, but I think Westwood's either signed a new deal or is very much about to sign a new deal. So I can't see that one happening. Although good keeper, but from what I'm led to believe, a little bit. How can I word it politely? He's a bit of a selfish twat and all for himself. I think that's polite enough. Few comments about the new straight up. Yeah, like it. It's pretty smart, to be fair. It's smarter than it looks on the pictures, in all honesty. Harrison looks like he really wants it already and will have a good season. Yeah, I mean, I think from what I'm led to believe by speaking to people around him that he found it hard when he first came. He found it hard to keep sort of the pressure at bay. So, yeah, it's up to him now, isn't it, to go and prove again, like Clark, why he's a Premier League player and why he deserves to be wearing that Manchester City shirt. And, if he tries to do that, then there's only us that can benefit from it. James Hudson, Stockdale. I mentioned Stockdale on a podcast a bit ago that we did. I got absolutely hammered for it. He's back in training with the Birmingham first team. He was pied off with the kids for a bit. I think he might have fell out with Monk. So I can't see it happening. His agent is quite familiar to us at this parts, though. Certain Ian Hart, I think, is his agent. So, you never know. Paddy Miller's going for Harrison Bit Player of the Year. Either that or he's playing in a large boys kit. Yeah, and Joe Catlin makes a good point. I do think that Harrison improved towards the end of the season. The pass at Derby for Kemarouf's goal being sort of the point in case. So again, can only really push on from there for me. So next up, them scumbags over in Australia. I think they'll put a pretty strong team out by all accounts. I think they've took quite a few of the first teamers. I'm not sure what time it's on. Is it like a sparrow fart job for us over here? So I don't think I'll be watching it live. I'll try and get it. Joey Morton, who's going to have a bigger season out of the Shackleton, Clark, Bamford, Harrison. I'm going to go early. I'm going to say out of them you've named, Jamie Shackleton will have the biggest season. And Ben, who we can't get on here for some reason. It's just getting him to do the right things at the right time, yeah. And I think a bit of that comes with confidence. Roos Sampson, Leeds' top scorer this season. I'm going to stick my neck out and say Patrick Bamford. And that is sticking my neck out. I bet Dan James scores. Yeah, he's probably nailed on, to be fair. But it'll be a good test for us because we're not going to get all our own way if we put pretty strong sides out. They'll have a lot of the ball. And we need to, when we do get it, use it well and not make mistakes because that's what you'd expect them to score from. But saying that, they'll be maybe a week behind us in terms of fitness. And we know that Bielsa makes our lads have it. So they'll have been running a hell of a lot. So ours might just be slightly fitter. Just got to deal with the jet lag that they'll undoubtedly be suffering with going out where Hearts was. So yeah, it could be one of them games. It could be a decent game or it could be an absolutely dour 0-0 ball fest. But yeah, who knows? I mean, Bielsa's obviously not impressed. We've said this. I'm not sure when he's going out to join him in Oz. Possibly might have flown out today or tomorrow. I think he's planning on going out for the scum match and then I think he's coming back home again because he believes that there's stuff to be worked on back here. And yeah, Ben says in comments, so trying to stay on UK time. Yeah, good luck with that. Trying to stay on UK time. I've seen a few of the players over there, and to be fair, they look bollocks there. I know they weren't allowed to sleep on the flight. They had to stay awake to try and keep them on UK time, but that's only going to stretch for so long, surely. It's going to be quite tough, that, on them physically. As Alioski ran around the whole of Hosea. Oh, God, I don't know. But I'll be honest then, I'll probably get a bit of stick for this. I wasn't very impressed with Alioski overnight. He back to his extremely frustrated himself, throwing himself around on the floor, making bad passes, and yeah, just being a bit of a dick. Do think he had a great season last season, but me personally, and I'm not hating on him. I also think he has got some extremely frustrating tendencies. And that throwing himself around the floor and spending more time appealing for stuff or kicking off with people or just generally being a dick is probably one of his worst ones. John Mattis, Douglas for me at fullback. I know Alioski came in and did a good job, but I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see Barry Douglas this year with a season behind him, and sorry, a full pre-season behind him, looking fit. I'm quite excited to see him. To be fair, and Alioski, is an enabled deputy, isn't he? Enabled deputy. I mean, I do think he's a talented lad, but he's so frustrating sometimes as well. A few comments about the not being no home pre-season game. Yeah, that is a bit of a strange one. I tried to do a bit of digging to find out why, and on things I could get from people to come up with was it's something to do with pitch, because due to the concert and stuff that went off over the summer, that they've decided just to give the pitch a bit longer to recover. So it's still disappointing. I always like the last pre-season of being at home. We've had some shit ones though as well, to be fair, but I've enjoyed that. Isai's back in training. He was due back today if he didn't get a club, but he might be using some gym work and stuff. But I genuinely can't see him. I can't see him ever wearing a Leeds shirt again. If I'm really honest, I think obviously he left citing family reasons, but I'm not sure how committed he was to the cause a lot of the time. Last year when he came back for pre-season, he was the most overweight player, and Bielsa's a massive stickler for body weight. I think the target weight is 10%, which I've not had since I was about 12, and he never got anywhere near that. Believe it or not, Lewis Baker was the most slenderest, from what we're led to believe. And Ben says court back end at week for Saiz, so he might have been given a bit of extra time to try and find a club and avoid prison potentially. So who knows? I think it'd be a wait and see. By all accounts, Adi Sacco will be announced as being transferred out very soon, in the next probably couple of days. But then, to be really honest, we've got some players to shift. Obviously, we've not seen any sign of Pierce at all in this summer. Vernon Nita, Pablo Civicki, all these players that, to be honest, have been a complete waste of space, time and effort at the time at Leeds United. And I think the gamble for getting them type of players in ultimately failed for us. And now we're trying to sort of undo that mistake from previously. So there's a lot of work to be done in shifting folk out. And I still do think we need to win, but I just genuinely don't see them happening. So it's going to be interesting. It's quite good to follow it, lads, via LU, by the Leeds United app. Sorry, seeing what they're getting up to over in Oz, and a few of the lads back over here have been Instagramming various things. So I don't know. Still, sort of excited and looking forward to the season, and still think that we've got enough to do a bit. Kane's still knocking around somewhere, probably the lifeguard, and that pulls right up. And a properly nasty injury he got though. We'll talk leg break. It was a proper seriously bad leg break. So he's going to take a bit of recovering from that. What role do you think Elder will play in the upcoming season? Well, I don't know. There's been a lot of talk out there, and I mean, if you look at some of Bielsa's teams, he likes them to be fluid. And when I talk about fluid, I mean like proper fluid. Like you have no idea where they're playing. And when they kicked off the other night and Costa started, I was a bit excited to see where he'd pop up. And for the first 10 minutes, I was thinking, well, what position is he playing? But then in second half, when he switched it up a gear or two from that right-hand side there, dropped that bit of shoulder to go and get his goal, and then, that running behind to get it across for Bogus's goal, shows you what class he's got. No matter what level of opponent you're playing against, that's something that you can't kind of teach, that drop of the shoulder. So I'm excited. I think he'll play majority of the time at right. Probably at left, a mix between left and right. I can't really see him coming up in a 10, but then again, we've seen Marcelo play Jack Harrison up front before, so nothing is beyond the realms of possibility when it comes to them. A few people asking, can't say who's coming in. Is there an 11 just enough to compete? Again, I think we probably need a few more coming in, but we're not sure. Not sure if someone's already asked, but if Roof does go to Rangers, would you like to replace him? I think if Roof does go anywhere, which it doesn't sound like it's going to be Rangers, that sounds like a bit of a strange one that Rangers have been told they can sign him for 2 million, I think, and then it's turned out that deal's not even on the cards. So I don't really know how that's worked. So it don't look like that to Rangers is anything. But if he does move on, he's absolutely got to be replaced. We can't go into the season with Patrick Bamford, Ryan Edmondson, Rafa Maricha, whatever he's called. Yeah, you need more than that to compete in the Championship, definitely. Goals, Now, the interesting bit would be if we'd sold Roof and brought Dwight Gale in on loan, as an example. Then you look at that, and I know a lot of people are, not happy with the fact that we're selling permanents and signing loans, but it's a marked improvement in quality for me in terms of I think Roof's a cracking player, but if he's if they can't agree a contract with him and he's going to move on, then that's the type of thing that you want to be trying to see happen, not selling Roof to whoever because we can't agree a deal with him and then buying some Albanian striker as we have done it past with like Edgar Chani and people like that. Pontus, yeah, I don't really want to talk about Pontus too much. I've got my own feelings on Pontus. I was very critical of him in season, but also I've a few times said that a talented boy, but a little bit sometimes for me, I always felt like as a fan that his image were a little bit see-through. You could see that there's a little bit too much about him, and I know that's easy saying now because we're a bit better because he's gone, but if you listen back to Talking Shutt, I've said that for quite a long time. And I spoke to pros and ex-pros and people who've played around people like him before. And to be honest, it don't go down very well. So, good luck to the lad at the mighty Brentford, playing in front of like 4,000 and a sheep or something. But he's gone now. I'm not really too fussed. Leave him to it. I was a bit more disappointed when we didn't re-sign Carl Bartley, to be truly honest, all them years ago. So, yeah, I'll quickly get over Pontus. But, yeah, flat on his arse again, funnily enough, getting trapped by a physio. And funnily, they were winning this game. And also, yeah, I'm not bothered, to be truly honest, about him going. Yeah, so, things are we've still got a lot of things to be positive about. It's easy to be really negative, and I get the feeling of why people are really negative, but there's lots of positivity still be there. We signed probably one of the best wingers in the division. We're going to likely keep KP. We're going to likely, retain what we've got now. And we've still got people like Jamie Shackleton, who's, again, he's not been mentioned a great deal in the summer, but what a fantastic player with so much talent and so much ability. And it's easy for me to say that because he's been on our show and it sounds a little bit like we're lording over him, but an absolute player and an athlete as well. So he's got a big part to play. Paddy Miller, would you take a chance on Andy Carroll? I would have done. I don't think anymore, mate. Christ, he's got the most broken body ever. He's more broken than I am. So now, the thing is, can you remember the old pay-as-you-play deal? Them thing have gone. So I don't know. I'm thinking today though, Benny Kafobe, who does he actually belong to now? Is he a Stoke player or is he a Wolves player? And Stoke appear to be wanting to get their wage bill down a bit. I think he'd fit in our system reasonably well as an holding man, but not Andy Carroll, to be truly honest. Shackleton, main impact player this year, head and shoulders above Clark. Yeah, I mean, they're slightly different players, and obviously, again, with the Clark deal to Tottenham and some of the comments that's come out this week, it's kind of been soured a little bit. And I think you've got to remember a bit, though, that he's only an 18-year-old boy and he's going to say some things sometimes on impulse. If you think of some of the stuff you used to say to women when you were 18, you'll know exactly what I'm getting at. So, yeah, hello to the guys from The Terraced who supported us last season with a podcast. And we might have some news coming up on them guys soon as well. Costa Douglas, all that new signings. Bogus will be good this year as well. He's only 17. He looks 30. Yeah, I think the thing is with Bogus as well, though, we're going to have to give him time, a little bit of time to sort of keep growing into the first team. Probably got all the talent in the world to play in the team now, but it's can you handle the pressure when 30,000 fans are getting on your case because it's not quite going your way. Who's going to be the strongest team in the league other than Leeds? I think can't look any further than Fulham. I mean, they've just got it sounds like they're on the verge of signing Anthony Knockout. They signed Ivan Cavallero from Wolves. Mitrovic have retained him. They've got players coming out their ears. I think the only thing that might impact Fulham is the defence were incredibly porous. I know it was in the Premier League, but I think they could struggle at the back. I think there could be a team that are so out and out that you could probably get at them as well. And to be honest, if you were the way that Bielsa played us last season or set us up, we should be looking forward to Fulham coming, because they're undoubtedly going to attack with that forward line, and that's the way we like it, because we can attack as well. And for a team like us, I wouldn't fear Fulham coming to Leeds. If I were a team like Barnsley who are desperately just wanting to stay in the league, no disrespect to them, then I'd be fearing a Fulham, because they'll try and sit and see the game out, and it's obviously you're going to struggle against them. That front three as an example. Obviously, it's hard to tell really who's going to be strong sides at the minute, because there's still a lot of transfer window to go, let's be honest. A lot of Premier League sides, like borderline stars who are not quite going to make it, they're still trying to prove a point at the club, and they could move on. Players could still move on out to the Premier League and stuff. So, it could be one of them where, a team could come from nowhere. And let's be honest, Stoke spent an absolute fortune last season and found it really hard. So it doesn't always equate spending a fortune and getting these big players to success. But, you never know. We'll have to just wait and see, I think. Ash Ellis, Carney signed a new deal as well, one of those Gale-type players. Not quite Premier League, but high-level Championship player. Yeah, and typically started his career with us. What a shocker. But got binned off from our academy for being too small, apparently. But yeah, I think there'll be quite a few good sides up, in and around it. I think it'll be an open division again this year. And just hopefully we can push on and go one better than we did last year and sort of hang in there for the long haul. Maximus Maurelius, a new centre-back. I think in an ideal world, you'd want to replace Pontus Jansson with a like-for-like or better. But I just don't see it happening. I think that Ben White's very much been brought in to play a part. And, again, during the toxic time on Twitter the last couple of weeks, a lot of people hammering Ben White. And I understand the sentiment around the fact that the kid's only ever played League One and League Two, but also you've got to give the kid a chance. All of these players that go on to make something from playing in League One and League Two, start from somewhere at some point. And I think somebody likened him to John Stones the other day. Now, loosely, I look at that and think, I can see the likeness. And just like John Stones, he's going to make mistakes this year. He's going to get caught in possession. He's going to make mistakes. There's no two ways about it. He's a young boy. We just have to give the kid some chance and get behind him, and let's see how he gets on. A few people mentioning Kyle Bartley. Yeah, I mentioned him before. I had an average season at West Brom last year. I'm not a big fan of it, like Paddy's mentioned in the comments about going back for ex-players. I'm not a massive fan of that myself. I couldn't even tell you who I'd go for if I'm truly honest. There's nobody that really jumps out to me as in a player that I'd want to go for, because it's obvious that Bielsa wants a very set type of player. It's not just a case of going and get some big clogger to play centre half. He wants somebody who can do stuff. And obviously Ben White is, he'll have had some input on it. He's picked Ben White to be that man. We'll have to wait and see. James Chester, yeah, but I would imagine he'll be on rockstar wages at Villa. So yeah, obviously we've got to look forward to signing Danny Welbeck that the square ball set off. So that'll be interesting if that comes to fruition, which is definitely not going to. But it was good bants while it lasted. To be honest, it even got me as well. Also, while just waiting for a few more comments, 1st of August at the Wardrobe in Leeds, Ryan Wilson and Darren Harper from the LS11 podcast are putting on a live show for charity, raising money for Andy's Man Club, mental health support charity for men, and also Cancer Research UK. So yeah, Andy Hughes and Tony DeRigo will be there. A bit of a live show. We'll chat to them about what it used to be like for playing for the club, and we'll get the down low on Australia as well from Tony, who's out there working for the club, and And somehow I've ended up being on the panel as well. So £8 a ticket, it's nothing, and it'll be a decent night, good crack. So yeah, if you're living in and around Leeds, living around Yorkshire, come down and check it out. John Marty said I got sucked in about Kale. Well, at one point the bookies were like nearly refusing to take bets on it. So, it's easy to believe that were true. But again, I think, the sort of fees he could be commanding would be ridiculous. Good shout from Ash Ellis, actually. Hector, the lad Hector, who was at Sheffield Wednesday last year. He had a good season at Wednesday. I was impressed with him when I saw him, and he would kind of fit our mould. He's a bit trying to play a little bit. Another striker, and we should piss it. Yeah. Struick has been mentioned a few times as well. I've been impressed whenever I've seen him at whatever level. I even shared a urinal with him recently, last season, which was a bit odd. He's a big kid, I'm nearly 6'3", and he's as big, if not bigger than me. Chester, a few comments about Chester, but he'll be on mega money. The kid Tamori, who were at Derby. All these names that are getting mentioned, but ultimately I think it all comes down to what Bielsa wants and what they fit into the way he wants us to play. And let's be honest, it's not all about defending for Bielsa. It's completely the opposite. He just wants us to be able to attack. When is the away kit out? How good would it be if it was just like the home keeper top? Yeah, I've just bought my son the home keeper shirt today, actually. He was listening a bit ago, so apologies for any coarse language. And yeah, it's a smart shirt, to be fair. I really like it. I was going to get it myself, but they were not in my size, so I got this one. And as I said before, I don't generally buy replica shirts. I purely bought this one because it's the 100-year anniversary, so I'll probably wear it for a season and then file it away somewhere with some old shirts that I've got kicking about from time following Leeds, which has been a while. And the other point that John's mentioned about Tamori, I can't see Frank Lampard bending over backwards to try and help us out in any way, shape or form in the season going forward. Interesting one with Frank Lampard. I can't see him still being at Chelsea come Christmas. That's what I'm going for. An average coach, tactically inept. He took a 6th place Derby and got them 6th place. And he's only got a move back there because he played for him. Let's be totally honest. So, sod him anyway. At least this guy can stop having a wank fest over him. That's about it really. Obviously, just trying to get in there. And Paddy's made a good point. Love Island's on in 15 minutes. Obviously good to get back on. We're planning on going back weekly come the early August. Obviously, we're still 2 weekly at the moment. And the main reason is, from time to time, there's not a great deal to talk about. So, rather than just coming on and talking shit, which is what we normally do, we just thought we'd give you guys a couple of weeks off. But come the new season, we'll be back week in, week out. Obviously, we've got this agreement with the club at the minute where we can get one club-affiliated person, so one player, coaching staff, tea lady, whatever, a month to come on the show. So we're hoping to make this happen as usual. And just a genuine thanks for anybody who does come on and listen to us and that. It genuinely is appreciated. We're just 4 blokes who just like talking about Leeds. None of us have got any broadcasting experience. None of us have got any qualifications in anything to do with journalism or all like that. Just all brought together for love at club, and that's ultimately why we do it. So the support we get a few guys, nice tweets, DM, stuff like that, genuinely is appreciated. And to be honest, even if you just get a bit of shit every now and again, at least it means you're relevant. So keep in touch. We'll be back live on Tuesday of next week. Back at the same time, 6:30, Facebook, YouTube, and various other things. Keep in touch with our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that. Keep in touch. Drop us a comment. Share the podcast around. Share the show around with other people. And tune into all the other great Leeds content as well. The Square Ball are smashing it. The old Leeds TV lads, Connor and Joe. LS11 with Ryan and Darren and anybody else I've missed. And take it easy, and I'll see you in a week.